Do you need a $1,000 phone? What is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Today, we're going to discuss, over my time, has the $1,000 phone been worth it? Do you actually need one? Over here, I have two $1,000 phones. Here is the Galaxy S10 Plus. This thing is over $1,000 for sure, especially with taxes. Once you get a case, everything, your total investment is well over $1,000. Over here on the iPhone XS Max, this is also starting at over $1,000. That's not including screen protectors, cases, insurance, things like that. Over here, we have the Galaxy S10, which is less than $1,000 with cases and screen protectors. You're getting close to it, but still under $1,000 in the Galaxy S10. And then we have the mighty OnePlus 6T, which is like half the price of that and gives you excellent performance and things like that. So I wanted to include that one in here. Now, for my other viewers who are not in the US, this equates to around 69,372 rupees, as well as 890 euros or 770 British pounds. So the first thing about $1,000 phones, are the designs better? Do you actually need one when it comes to design? And I gotta say, no, the designs are not really better. They're just bigger. So usually you just get a bigger version of what's already on the smaller phones. Now, some people believe in the mantra bigger is better. I don't believe that. I don't think that's always true. But if you do believe that, of course, you're gonna find a $1,000 phone to be better. The next one is displays. Again, the displays are not usually that much better. They're just bigger. And again, if you think a bigger display is better, then yes, you'll probably want to have a $1,000 phone. But the Galaxy S10, for example, has a sharper resolution than the S10 Plus because there's more pixels crammed across the smaller body of this phone. Do you need a $1,000 phone when it comes to display? Not in terms of quality, but if you want the large size, you still don't need a $1,000 phone because there's plenty of cheaper phones with large displays as well. So usually you just get the bigger version of what's already available on less than $1,000 phones. Now, you could say, well, I want to watch videos on a bigger phone. Well, you can still use your tablet or laptop to go ahead and do that. So, I mean, I wouldn't pay $1,000 just to watch video a little bit bigger when you can get a phone and a tablet for cheaper than some of these smartphones. When it comes to software, again, identical. I find the Galaxy S10 Plus and the S10 to be identical when it comes to daily usage. I mean, there is really no difference other than I have a bigger display and I have to reach higher up than I do on the Galaxy S10. Other than that, software is the same. Same goes with iOS, whether you have a 10R, you have a 10S or a 10S Max, the software is identical. When it comes to performance, it doesn't matter whether you have a $1,000 phone or a cheaper phone. Usually these manufacturers are equipping their newer phones with the latest and greatest processor. So speed and performance, there's no benefit. And this is an area where you see in computers often does give you a benefit. So if you buy a laptop, for example, at $1,000 and you go up to $1,500, you're likely going to get a little bit more power if you pay for, the i7 quad core versus the i7 dual core. But here on the iPhones, if you pay $1,000 for the iPhone XS Max Plus, you'll get the A12 CPU. But if you buy an iPhone XR at $750, you'll still get the A12 CPU. So there's really no benefits there. Now, when it comes to cameras, do you need a $1,000 phone? And again, the answer is no, because the $1,000 phone gives you usually a similar camera experience as one that's cheaper. Now, the XS Max gives you dual camera. To get the iPhone XR, you would actually lose one. So there, it might be worth it for you. But on the Samsung side of things, definitely not, because you have a triple camera here. And then you have a triple camera here on the $1,000 phone S10 Plus. So value is about the same here. Now going down to the S10e, you lose a little bit. But even on the OnePlus 6T over here, we have a dual camera setup. So you don't need to get a $1,000 phone to have multiple lenses. But I will mention that when you pay over $1,000, you typically do get the most cameras that you're going to be able to get in a smartphone at that current time. So like the Galaxy S10 5G has 4 cameras on the rear, 2 on the front. You're going to see more cameras probably on the Note 10. And yeah, you do get the most cameras for over $1,000, but usually they're pretty similar. And if you don't take advantage of them that often, you might still not need a $1,000 phone. One area where you often will see a little bit better is a battery life. So battery life is typically some of the best you're going to get when you do buy a $1,000 phone, but you don't need to buy a $1,000 phone to get great battery. But I will say the flagship phones that give you, that are over $1,000 are typically better on battery life than, the flagships that are under $1,000. So for example, the Galaxy S10 Plus is over $1,000. It gives you much better battery life than the regular S10. The OnePlus 6T gives you excellent battery life, and it's not even close to $1,000. So this is a good example of a phone that doesn't need to be even near that and gives you a similar battery life as some of these top leading class flagships. Another area where it doesn't really make too much of a difference if you get a $1,000 phone or not is storage. So in storage, you know, Samsung equips the same $1,000 phone with 128 gigabytes versus their $899 phone over there, the S10, that's going to give you 128 gigabytes as well. So you would think at $1,000 they're just going to give you more storage just because it's $1,000. Nope, it's more about getting the bigger display and design. So I want to talk about some of the cons of owning, you know, a $1,000 phone, and then talk about one of the best things about owning all of them. So the first one is they're scary to drop. You don't want to drop your $1,000 phone because it's a hassle. You don't want to go and fix this thing. Also, the cost of fixing these are a little bit higher than the smaller devices for sure, because there's more glass, there's more material to replace. Also, insurance might be necessary if you're clumsy, which adds to the cost of $1,000 already. There's a higher chance of theft if you're not smart and careful about, you know, your device. So if you're around some people that are some shady characters and they see you with the best phone, you just be careful, because, you know, these $1,000 phones are desirable items. You always got to, you know, I try to remain positive, but I always know there's some shady characters in the world. I'm not that naive to be thinking that. So you got to be a little bit careful, a little bit smart with your, you know, investment, because if you got the latest and greatest and people see that, they know what's up. And if they're a hater, you got to be careful about the people. So just be careful with those $1,000 phones. And one of my last cons is that the best doesn't last for long. So one of the things that hurts the most is when you buy one of these phones, you pay your hard-earned money, over $1,000 or whatever, and it's just like 6 months down the line, something comes out that's better, and it just makes you envious, because the whole point of buying one of these phones is to have the best. So even me, I feel a little bit of a punch in the stomach when I get the S10 Plus, and then 6 months later, here comes the Note 10, just blowing away the S10 Plus, for example. Now, we're done with all the cons. Here's the positives of owning these $1,000 phones. You get a higher resale value than pretty much any phone that's less, because you paid more, it's a bigger phone. When you go to sell it, you get more back for it. So that is one of my major thumbs up about buying a $1,000 phone. At least a temporary feeling that you have the best. And this is a personal thing. It's not technically, you know, something you have to have, but if you feel like, you know, having the nicest things makes you feel good, like I feel this way, like when I'm using the iPhone XS Max, it just feels good to be using, you know, one of the best in the industry out there. It's just a good feeling. Luxurious. So these phones are getting more and more luxurious. You could see a gold iPhone XS Max right here. You're probably not getting many gold phones for under $1,000 that are like that, you know, premium looking. The S10 Plus, if you pay 15 something, you get the ceramic version, ceramic material, super high quality material. Galaxy Fold is a folding device, but it's very luxurious looking. So starting to get luxury at over $1,000. You may get a question rarely, what phone is that just came out? A lot of times, not everybody is jumping on the latest phone. A lot of you that watch this channel buy phones a lot because you're into tech. I get that, but the mainstream consumer, you're still going to see with 2-year-old phones, you're going to see with maybe even 3-year-old phones, and they might be astonished by what they're seeing in your hand because they're not into tech and they just see it. They're like, wow, what's that? They don't watch, you know, tech like that or follow it like that. So you might rarely get that question. What phone is that? That's a nice phone. You also get the most innovation and just everything a company is capable of producing at that time when you do get a $1,000 phone. This seems to be changing though this year, as the S10 gives you pretty much everything the company's capable of producing as the S10 Plus. Definitely that's a feeling you do get, is that you get the most that that company was capable of producing at that given time. So in conclusion, do you need one of these $1,000 phones? And I can honestly say absolutely not. You do not need one. This is not, you know, food and, you know, roof and shelter and stuff like that. This is a phone, but it is a luxury. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having the best in life. It feels good. And then why not? You only live once. And if you can make it happen, well, why not? I mean, you're only going to live once. So I feel like if I'm going to enjoy life, I want to enjoy the best toys in life as well. And the good thing is you can always sell them for more if you get tired of them. So I would say think of these new phones as more of a luxury, but still, one thing you'll notice in life in general across all product lines is that the best of the best is always the most sought after. Look at the car game. People who like cars are always looking at the best of the best. Tesla, for example. We got, you know, Bugatti. We got Lamborghini. Like Ferrari. Like, these are the cars that people desire because they are the best in the world. Same goes with the phones. Everybody's eyes are on the Galaxy Fold right now. I should have one soon. I missed out on the initial launch. I don't even know if they had one ready. I reserved it, but it'll be here because we need to see the best of the best, but there's nothing wrong with having it. So I would encourage, if you like that thing, why not? What are your thoughts on this topic? I would love to hear them down below in the comment section of this video. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, informing, do me a favor, click that like button for me. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more. Nick here helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well, and peace.